Today is my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
And today we are going to do some long exposure, not true. We're going to do some landscape photography. Actually, true. We're going to do some long exposure landscape photography editing in Lightroom. We are also going to talk about a new Lightroom challenge just after the intro. The usual good old times intro. Welcome to my channel. Here we talk about photography, and I make videos just like this one where I share some landscape photography tips that anybody can follow. So if you're here for the first time and you love photography like me, it might be a good idea to subscribe. Today is my birthday, but I will be publishing this video tomorrow. So now that you're watching this video, it's not my birthday anymore. I still encourage you to wish me happy birthday in the comments. It'd be nice. At the same time, you are late. So let's see how to edit landscape photograph in Lightroom in 2021. I will take you to Hawaii. Okay, let's go. This is the photo that I have selected. This is Hawaii. This is the island of Oahu. I am at Makapu Pools. And the bigger island that you see here on the left side is Rabbit Island. I took this picture with the 16 to 35 f4, as you can see, at 16 millimeters, 180 seconds. Long exposure f8. I am pretty sure I was using a 10 stops ND filter with an ND grad soft, 3 stops. Let's click on D to go into the develop module, and as we can see, even if while importing this photo I already applied the remove chromatic aberration, as you can see, and the profile correction, I still see quite a bit of vignetting on the corners. I did try to make it better by moving the vignetting slider all the way to the right. It was not enough. I'm not too worried because, as you can see right here, we do have the horizon right in the middle, and I want to change that. So I am going to apply a 16:9 aspect ratio, and I will move it lower in order to crop the vignetting and part of the sky, because I have too much sky. And I also want to crop this little black rock on the bottom, which I don't like. Done. This will be my final crop. Let's start with the basic panel. And on the basic panel, the first thing I will do is that from Adobe Standard, I will go to the Adobe Landscape Profile. In order to fix the white balance, I will grab and pick a target neutral. I lost it. You see, I'm not used to do this anymore. I will pick a target neutral white right here, and my white balance, here you go, changed quite a bit. At the time I was using the Lee filters, the older versions of the Lee filters, which did apply a very strong blue cast to the image, and now we are in a more balanced color temperature. I will hold the shift key Double click on highlights. Same thing on the shadows. Same thing on the whites. Same things on the blacks. In this way, I am expanding the histogram all the way. I'm not going to touch the rest for now. Let's move to the tone curve. In the tone curve, we can adjust the exposure of the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights at the same time the contrast of the image. I'm now in the point curve. In this case, I will just pick a point on the highlights of the curve, hold the shift key. In this way, I can increase in a more controlled way the exposure of the highlights. Same thing on the shadows. I will pick a point in the shadows, hold the shift key, drag it down a little bit. I also have the opportunity to change the curve of the RGB, of the reds, the greens, and the blues. Let's start with the sky. Let's start with the blues. In the blue curve, I will pick a point in the highlights, hold the shift key, and I will bring it up a little bit. At the same time, in the shadows, I will find a point and drag it down in order to take away the blue from this area, which I have mainly rocks. Let's work with the green. I would like to make that green on Rabbit Island pop, so I will again grab in the highlights a point, hold the shift key, bring it up, maybe too much, so maybe I need to go. Okay, if you make something wrong like this, I can reset just this channel by right click and reset channel. I think I need to grab a point in the middle of my image. That works maybe a little better, maybe here. In the shadows, I really want to take this green out. I'm not convinced. I will work with the reds before deciding if I will keep the green adjustment. Here I want to get rid of this red in the shadows, so I will I'm picking a point, holding the shift key, drag it down, and as you can see, it's a lot less red. Let's see if all these adjustments brought me somewhere good or not. This is the before, this is the after. I think I will keep it, and let's move on. Let's go into the color, actually in the HSL Hue Saturation Luminance. What I want to do here is to increase a little bit the saturation of the green and also the luminance, because that color there, in my opinion, will help to make this image pop. I will now open the color grading panel. You maybe noticed that when I open a panel, the panel that was open will close. How do you do this? Right click, solo mode, done. Color grading. This is the intimidating part. When I saw the latest update of Lightroom and I saw this color grading panel, I said, what happened? Then I read about it, and this is nothing less than the old split toning panel. More refined, more options, better looking. Let's see. So on top here we can adjust and visualize midtones, shadows and highlights at the same time. Otherwise we can visualize shadows, midtones and highlights one by one. We also have a global color grading panel, but I will not use that. What I prefer to do is to use the single panels. Let's start with the shadows. In the shadows, I like to add a little orangey reddish tone, so I can search for the right tone and also decide how much of this tone I want to apply. The more I go towards the edge of this circle, the more, as you can see, will be applied. Vice versa, I can be, and that's what I suggest to do, I can be a little more subtle. I can also change the luminance. Let's go into the midtones. In the midtones, I will add little green tone, maybe less. Increase the luminance a little bit. And I will move on to the highlights. I want to add just a little blue tone. And instead here, I like to decrease the luminance just a tiny bit. Let's see the overall change before, after. I think that I have too much green going on. So I will scale back the green. Maybe I take it all out, all together. I think it's much better. Good. Detail. In the detail, I like to reduce the radius of my sharpening and increase the detail. Then I do apply, not touching anything else here. The lens correction were already applied during the import. And this is all for my global adjustments. Let's apply some local ones. Graduated filter. I want to work with this sky. I think it's too bright, there's no contrast, not very interesting. I don't see these clouds moving as much as I would like to, so let's improve this. Hold the shift key, drag the graduate filter from the top. I will stop at the edge of the island, and here I will decrease the highlights. First thing. I will also add some blacks. Basically, I want to create more contrast in the sky. I will add some texture. I will also add some dehaze. The dehaze help quite a bit. It also helped to see this spot on my camera sensor, which we'll take care a little later. I will decrease the noise. I actually see another spot right here. We'll need to take care of that. Nevertheless, let's see if I add a little contrast, if I'm helping the overall perception. I think I do. Subtle changes. Okay, I'm done with this. Let me take care of these two little spots. I can visualize the spots. I will size and heal. I see the other one here. Done. Better. The spots are gone. The last thing I want to do, it's almost the very last thing, I want to see more details on these foreground rocks. So I'll create my brush, adding some shadows, texture, and sharpness for now. Let's see if this is the right recipe. Last thing that I want to do is to add a little vignette. It always creates a little more interest, subtle. And I think that's it. Backslash to see the before, super blue casted, not very interesting raw file. Backslash again to go to the after version. I think there is a lot more going on, a lot more depth, good accent on the foreground in order to create a depth, nice contrast in the sky to emphasize the movement of the clouds. I think this is it. So in the end, these Lightroom updates are great, but not so intimidating. I know that I need to practice some more. In the meanwhile, I hope this was useful for you. Very last editing tip. If you want to give your images a special pop, try to wear the histogram T. Results are guaranteed, you will see. So check out the PhotoTEE collection store, links everywhere. Now is your turn. How do you feel about a Lightroom challenge? If you want to share your images with me and with this beautiful photography community that we have on this channel and on Instagram, I encourage you to post your before and after editing photos on Instagram using the hashtag Lightroom Challenge 2021. Use also the hashtag Attilio Photo Club. Don't forget to tag me, of course, Attilio Ruffo Photography. I will pick my favorite photos, and I will show them in one of my next videos here on this channel. I hope to see a lot of pictures. We are done for today. Give a thumb up to this video if you want to help me to spread this content on YouTube. If not, I understand. No hard feelings. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.